War Eagle, everyone. This is your boy C-Dub. This is Game 8 pregame, Auburn versus Arkansas. Let's get the show started.
Pregame, halftime, and post the whole time the chat live. We around our folks, but we gon' keep the chat tight, keeping out trolls. That's why you gotta get your green name on, your pregame on, cause ain't nobody doing it better, reviewing it better, building rapport so you in tune with the players, with some quick prize picks so you can scoop you some cheddar. Get your mug or your shirt with the letters. Game time.
Special shout out to Prize Picks, guys, as we welcome you to the latest pregame show. It's week 8 or game 8, Auburn versus Arkansas, sponsored by Prize Picks. Guys, if you want to play your daily fantasy, head over to Prize Picks. Use code RAPPORT for a 100% deposit match up to $100 on your first deposit. Shouts out to Prize Picks for being a supporter of our game day experience, as well as being supporters of the War Report. We're here. It's me and B Will. Speaking of Prize Picks, what we got, B?
Man, we're gonna make a couple of picks, put a little ticket together, so we know what's going on this weekend. We know for sure. Well, I know, so I'm sharing with all the folks. Robbie Ashford's pass yards over under is 180.5. The reason that's a good pick for more is because Arkansas's pass defense is terrible. It is much worse than their rush defense. They are the worst pass defense in the conference, either first or second worst. So we're going the over on that. We know that Robbie we haven't been a high flying passing offense, but they're going to change that with a week off to prepare. They're going to come out here slinging it to take advantage of Arkansas's weakness. So we're going over on that. Also, we know that based on some advanced metrics, Arkansas is terrible at tackling, and they miss a lot of tackles. So I'm going to take our all-world tackle breaking running back to go over on rush yards. For no other reason.
I know you're focused on this, but I just saw a post from Fortunate Degree says that the video board announced that Garner is starting.
Oh, what in the hell?
Yeah.
Well, let's take Robbie Ashford off of here. We're going to get rid of that.
I'm waiting for Ike to confirm that.
Yeah,
Ike said they said it in the stadium, but he isn't on the lineup as a starter.
Some trickeration. Oh, wow.
Interesting.
You know what?
So how you feel about that pick now? I
mean, I already took it off. So listen, I'm definitely going Tank Bigsby. Man, I wish I could. Can I do both of these in the counts? Tank Bigsby over on rush yards, but also over on rush and reception yards. Tank is when you got a freshman quarterback in there, you got to lean on your guys. So it may have been a mistake. Ike says he isn't warming up with the first team offense right now.
Okay. I think
it may have been a mistake. All right, so now I got to go find Robbie again and add him back. That didn't make a lot of sense. That was
That's okay. So that was a Freudian slip on the part of the announcer.
That was like it slipped a little bit.
Okay.
All right.
So you got Ashford back in there. How do you still feel about him and Tank?
So I would take down the rush reception yards total, because if you got Robbie in there, then he's going to be pushing the ball way far downfield. It's not that Tank couldn't get some work, but I think they're going to get Tank in space, maybe some screens, maybe some receptions. I feel more comfortable going 62.5 on the rush yards, though, because I know that Arkansas cannot tackle. So I'm comfortable with that. Comfortable with going over on the 180.5 for Robbie. We need one more to make this complete. I'm trying to think
who else to the Arkansas side.
See, here's where I don't know, right? So KJ Jefferson, they got 210.5 yards for him passing. We're great against the pass. I'm
not going that one.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that one. We could always go under if we're absolutely certain, but I couldn't tell you which way this game is going to go. Honestly, knowing us, our rush defense is going to give it up, and they're just going to be pounding the rock on the ground later. And
what do they have for Raheem Sanders?
It's a good pick. Let's see what they got for him. Raheem. Oh, what is EI in there? Raheem Sanders, 110 rush yards. We don't want to hear it.
I'm taking that.
You taking over under? What you think?
I'm taking over on that.
All right.
I'm taking over.
All right. You know, let's concede that if we are moving, if we're moving the ball like we need to through the air, then Robbie gets his, but we also have to concede that Sanders gets his on the ground, and this should be a very interesting game. Very interesting game. So that's our ticket. I'm gonna pick that 200. You know what? Do the flex play. You know, that's where you get a little less overall, but if you lose one of them, then you still get some. So let's take that $20 to win 45 if all three hit. Money in the bank, and there we go. That's our ticket. Y'all hit up Prize Picks, code rapport, get you a little extra on your first deposit, and that's our ticket for this morning.
Okay. All right. So we're getting questions about who's the starting quarterback. According to Ike, who's actually there covering the game, Holden Geriner he's not warming up with the ones. So we think that was a Freudian slip on the part of the announcer. So we believe that Robbie Ashford is definitely starting in this game. So I know there's some panic in the comment section, but I think we're okay there. So B.
This whoever working up was scared the hell out of everybody first thing in the morning. What are you doing, man?
I mean, it's not like we're not going to be on pins and needles for 60 minutes. Yeah. How are you feeling? Man, before this game? Like, where is B Will before this game, man?
You know, so I put together a bet with B Will. I posted the article already. It's already up on Twitter if you check our Twitter account. And what I do to put together those bets and predictions is I check some advanced metrics. So betting gets a lot easier as the season goes on because you get more games, more data on teams, and you find out who they are. So after 8 games, we're in week 9. So most people have played at least 7 games. You know who you are. You know where you rank defensively, rushing the ball, passing the ball, defending the pass, all of that stuff. We have very good data on it. And looking at the data for this game, I got to tell you, we know that we are not a good team. But what we are bad at defensively is stopping the run. And that's what Arkansas is good at. So that's their strength on our weakness. Ah, man, that's a tough ask. That's a tough ask. That tempers my excitement somewhat. I do think that this team is still playing and still fighting. Seeing that, man, they really are that good there, and we are not. That's our weakness. So what we have to hope is that what we are worst at is better today. We don't have any reason to believe that it is. We can hope that it is. We can hope that, you know, we heard a press conference that Papo did coming off the bye week, said, well, you know what? We weren't trusting each other out there. We weren't trusting our teammate to make the play or make the right assignment. So we're doing too much ourselves and taking too much on ourselves, and you can't win that way. It's like, yeah, okay, we know you can't win that way, but that's been the case every week. So if that's been the case every week and it's resulting in these missed plays and missed tackles, is the bye week enough to get that unit turned around, to get you to see the right thing and make the right decision? We got to hope it is, but hope, I'm going by what you did for 8 weeks, 7 games over the course of 8 weeks. And those numbers say that Arkansas will have a field day. Now, the numbers also say that Arkansas is going to give up a lot of points. Our offense, we can move the ball on the ground. We think we can, a little bit at least. But Ole Miss may have just been an outlier. And that's what's so tough. It's like, Arkansas can defend the run fairly well. So you got to pass the ball. Guarantee if you want to pass the ball on them, you're going to get some points. Can we pass the ball? We haven't seen Robbie look proficient yet passing the ball. He's made some big plays, but has he looked proficient? We haven't looked that way. So I'm a little less optimistic about this one than I was at the beginning of the week based on the numbers. And that's got me. I'm nervous. See, I'm nervous. I'm nervous. That's why I'm nervous right now.
See, listen. Avengers Infinity War reference. We asked Dr. Strange to go into the future and look at all the possible scenarios and outcomes for where Auburn can win. He came back with one. Okay, there's really one way we can win.
Yeah,
ball control. Yeah. Auburn has to keep Arkansas off the field. They really do. And that's a good dose of Tank, Jarquez, and even Robbie. Robbie's going to have to get even into the run game to keep the ball out of Arkansas's hands, which also means Auburn cannot lose the turnover battle this week.
Yeah.
It is a necessity that we do not put the ball on the ground, nor do we hand the ball over to the opposition in this game.
Right.
We got to control. We have to control the time of possession, give Arkansas less chances. As we said earlier this week, our best defense is a better offense.
Right.
And currently Auburn's offense ranks, we're kind of middle of the pack, a little bit lower than middle of the pack in total offense. But this has to be one of our better showings because we've shown glimpses that we can move the football, especially against not so good defenses. So I think that's possible at home to do so. I'm just worried, to your point, B, I'm worried about our defense because all those things have to go right because our rush defense, we are dead last in the SEC. We rank 119th in the nation in rush defense. We're giving up over, mind you, I believe that is 204 yards on the ground. We're giving up 204 yards on the ground per game. And a lot of that was we just opened up the floodgates against Ole Miss. We gave up 448 yards on the ground against them. The teams who are currently ranked in the top 50 in rush yards per game have all reached their average rush yards at the very least against us. Ole Miss almost doubled it against us.
Yeah.
This Arkansas is the second best rush offense we're going to face or have faced so far. So I don't know what we do on defense. My question to you is, do we see some new faces on the defensive side of the ball, second level?
Well, Ike's out here reporting to us in our internal channels, and he's saying that this is not about defense, but that Jeremiah Wright is not starting on the offensive line. He was not announced as a starter. Now, if I'm taking the results I saw from Ole Miss, which was an improvement, and saying, hey, Wright was out there, let's put him back out there. Well, they didn't, at least not to start. Maybe it's an announcement thing. I'm not absolutely sure. But that gives me very little hope that they're going to change anything on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, again, Pap was one of the people that they threw out for the player interviews this week. That means that they got renewed confidence, that they're trying to empower the players that have been playing to play better. Do I have a lot of confidence that that is going to happen? I do not. I don't think that they make a change on defense at linebacker. Maybe we see some spot duty for Asante. Maybe we see a few snaps for Woodyard if he's healthy. But I don't have any confidence that they're going to just switch it up, throw two new bodies out there and say, you guys go get it. I don't think they do it.
Yeah. I mean, we've had a few. I mean, there's been a few names that we've mentioned. I mean, you mentioned a few of those already. But Lawrence is asking, is Cam healthy? We don't know.
We do not know.
We do not know. We'll find out. We'll definitely find out today. Let me get to a super chat. Dr. Doom says, War Eagle fellas, keep up the good work. War Eagle, back to you, Dr. Doom.
Man,
appreciate the super chat. RTJ Beat says, got the gummies ready. How many gummies is this? What kind of gummy day is this, B. Will?
Oh, this is the first one where we actually stand a chance to win in a while. And now I'm nervous. This is a 2 gummy day. I'm gonna stretch it out though. I got kids. I can't be just gone. So I'm gonna take it slow. But this is a 2 gummy day.
I think it's kind of a 3 gummy day. But but hey, I understand you got kids. I got one on the way, so I can pop that extra one still. War Eagle Bros, get your weight up. Hashtag get well, Mike G. Appreciate that big gap. Again, the story has been of this game is really going to be the offense. It's really going to be the offense and how we can move the ball. We saw the light begin to come on for Robbie Ashford in this game. And again, he's what's making this offense work. I am concerned about the offensive line, given Ike's report that Wright is not starting on O-line.
Right.
What should we expect to see? Again, this is an Arkansas team that likes the pressure, likes to get pressure on the QB. What should we expect to see out of Robbie Ashford today?
They're going to try to push the ball downfield. Who are they trying to push the ball downfield to? That's my first question. Who's on the outside? Is it Camden Brown? Javarius Johnson has to be part of the game plan. He's too big a threat, going downfield.
For sure.
You've got to expect that they've been working on their timing, on their rapport, and getting some pass plays installed that allow our outside threats and our big wide receivers to use their natural gifts. It's just that has to be part of the game plan. I would be so disappointed if within the first 2 drives, I don't see at least 2 attempts of 20 yards or more downfield. At least 2 attempts.
You got Coy Moore. I mean, you got some guys. You got some dudes who has made some plays for you. So I'm expecting to see some of these young guys get an opportunity. B. I agree. You have to push. You got to push the ball down the field at this point.
Right.
Really go after. Make Arkansas defend the pass. Something that they have not done a really good job of doing. I'm expecting to see some Javarius Johnson, some Coy Moore. I'm curious to see what Amari Kelly can do. Camden Brown, I'm looking for him to have a breakout.
Yeah.
I want to see him get a 50-50 ball thrown his way.
Yeah.
I'm definitely, I agree that I want to see the passing game take a step forward. We saw some hope last game against Ole Miss with the run game. Let's see what the passing game can do, because again, you don't want to be one-dimensional in this conference against anybody. Anybody can put together and make enough adjustments to stop you if you're one-dimensional. We got to be able to make them pay through the air. I totally agree. How important do you think it is for Auburn to start this game fast? If we're talking about a good defense is a good offense, how critical is it for Auburn to hit the ground running offensively?
Oh, it's critical. In any game, when the scoring starts quickly, it usually is maintained over the course of the entire game. It's critical for the things that these guys worked on in the bye week to work when they first come out, so they have the confidence that they can keep doing it. Because the worst thing would be for them to have that Ole Miss game, feel like they gained a little momentum, work on improving that in the bye week, and then come in here and just fall flat early. And now you're struggling for yards, the same way it's looked in every other SEC game we played this season, where looks like we can't get a winning play without fumbling, without an interception or whatever. They need to come in here and execute. And it has been largely execution this year. Execution has been the biggest problem for the offense. Yeah. They need to execute. And I don't know what better time is there? Like, if you can't do it coming off a bye after some offensive success and against one of the worst defenses in the conference, you're not going to do it. So they know that they have to get it going early, and they have to get it going often, because it's really just a matter of time before the dam breaks on our defense. The same way at Ole Miss. They didn't come out running for 1,000,000 yards, but we turned the ball over enough, kept our defense out there enough, and eventually the dam's going to break. We have to get points up early, because Arkansas is going to come storming back, and we've got to have enough points to give our defense that cushion. So if they do make some mistakes, we can still be in control of the game, keep moving the ball, and hopefully get a win.
Yeah, I agree with that. Let's get to some comments. Joe Kyle says, doubling down on Dr. Doom super chat. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Joe Kyle, for that. We greatly appreciate you. Stephen Riley's feeling optimistic. War Eagle 4-game win streak coming. Stephen, I hope you are right.
Hey, your mouth, guys,
you're right. Brother. And if you are right, you're getting a lot of love from us for sure, because you called it first. Leah Stottle says, can we have less than 5 penalties in the first half, please? Let's talk about that, B.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that, because a big part of if this offense is going to carry this team today in its effort to control clock, then you're asking a lot of this offense. You're asking for this offense to basically reduce penalties. You're asking for this offense to win first down, which means this team has to be very disciplined. And if there's some shuffling still going on with the O-line, how does that make you feel in terms of the discipline up front, in terms of penalties, false starts, holdings, holds? Like how do you feel about that?
Well, we've got a much better chance of avoiding penalties because we'll be at home. That's the biggest thing there. Our last 2 offensive games have been penalty riddled, but that's mostly because we were on the road and playing against a very, very, very good front in Georgia. We already knew that they could wreak some havoc, and they did. And our offensive line, expecting that, along with the crowd noise, was just a recipe for disaster. And we looked terrible. We did not handle it well. Ole Miss was a bit of a different story. We had some untimely ones, but I don't think our offensive line was overwhelmed in that game. But road game, still noise. We're at home now, so I think the offense will be more settled. A bye week to look your best out of the bye week is kind of a must. Yeah. For everything that's been made about how bad a job people think Coach Harsin is doing, I think this is the real test, because up until the bye, you know what you've got. So we know that we've got a lot of inexperience. We're lacking talent on offensive line and linebacker. If you know you've got that, how much do you improve from before to after the bye? Less penalties, less turnovers, and yes, the defense is going to give way eventually, but if you've improved the things that are mostly mental, then that's a sign of improvement. That will be a sign that, hey, those guys haven't phoned it in yet this season, and I am looking for that to improve significantly so that the offense can stand a chance to stay on the field today.
Yeah. Let's get to some more comments. We're going to do that. Comment on this. We're going to give our thoughts about predictions, get you guys' thoughts. Some of the things that people said that they want to see. Lawrence Robinson says he wants to see us make field goals. I think that's very important in this game for sure. Paul Covington says Auburn is like life, ups and downs with high peaks and low valleys, hoping for a good win today. Prayers for Mike. Great post. Paul, I agree with you wholeheartedly. James McAlpine says AU 33, the pigs or the bacon 23. I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Lawrence Robinson doesn't want to see any gimmick plays. I think we see some gimmick plays, D. I know it's been frustrating to see just simply because they haven't worked at times, so you don't want to see it no more. But this is kind of what Harsin likes to do, even dating back to his time as an OC at Boise. He will sprinkle in a gimmick or a trick play here and there, especially if we're having difficulties moving the ball this game. It's almost an absolute certainty that we'll see something.
Yeah, and again, a very bad defense, one that's out of position and tackles poorly. Trick plays are who you want to try that on. Trick plays are the best. That's the best time to pull those out. Or against the defense who it just isn't good in the first place. They're scrambling to make the right reads and be in the right place, and you can make them triple guess what's going on with the trick play. So I wouldn't be surprised to see it against Arkansas.
Lawrence also says he wants to see us make tackles. I agree with this wholeheartedly. This has kind of been a bugaboo for our defense, especially in open space, especially at the second level, making tackles, not allowing people to get a lot of yards after contact. That's been kind of a thing for the Auburn defense this year at times. And I think that's very important against a team that likes to be physical and run on teams. So your thoughts on us making tackles? Do you think we get an opportunity to do that?
We will get an opportunity to make tackles. Honestly, Wesley Steiner has improved from when he first stepped foot on the field to now. I think he's getting a feel for it. Again, they're getting worn out in the middle is what's happening over the course of a game, but we aren't terrible. We held Ole Miss down enough. They didn't have very long fields to go, which was essentially the biggest problem in that game because of the turnovers. But we did a good enough job early for us to stay in that game. I think that they can keep it close, like a certain number of drives, 5, 6, maybe. Then Arkansas probably starts to turn it on with the run game. I think we can make our tackles well enough to stay in this game. The home crowd, the motivation to improve coming out of the bye. I think we're going to be good for a minute. Man, the offense, they better keep it going, man. They need to run it up.
Yeah. Blake Kraft says, appreciate the super chat. Y'all think Tank hits 100 yards? Does he have to for us to win? Yes. Absolutely.
Well, if their weakness is it's the passing game, though, really it's does Robbie need to throw for over 250 for us to win?
You're asking, but I think with a young quarterback, you can't have him just chunking the ball all over the place. typically that hasn't been a good recipe. You saw how effective this offense is. We were the most effective when we were running the ball.
True.
And so to ask Robbie to throw a lot in this game, we're either behind or something is going terribly wrong. And so I think it's necessary to take the pressure off Robbie, even though he's at home, for him to be able to settle down and be comfortable, get him into manageable situations. I think Tank has to have a good game. When he had a good game, Auburn actually had a shot to beat Ole Miss. And so I think having a good run game is necessary because, yes, I agree, B. Ashford is going to have to throw the ball, but you do not want Robbie Ashford having to do it all with his arm in this game. I just don't think that has never been a good recipe for us to win. I don't think it even starts today. Tank has to show up. Blake Robinson even asks, how about both Tank and Jarquez over 100? I'll take it. I don't know if it's likely, but I would take it.
Man, would I?
Someone needs to get over 100 yards. Like we need to have. I'm not saying we run as well as we did against Ole Miss. I think we got 300 yards of rush yards.
Right.
If we get to 200, I'm hoping Ashford could take it the rest of the way.
Total rush yards.
200 rush yards. I'm hoping Ashford can take us the rest of the way. What do you think?
Now you got me wanting to check and see what Arkansas's how many rush yards they're giving up a game. I got to check now. I got to check. Let me see.
They're actually giving up 142.
Ooh,
That's
yeah.
tough.
Ooh.
That's tough.
See, they're giving up 315 passing yards a game. I think it's got to be through the air. I think it has to be. I think it's great to use Tank. His reception yards will go up. And now I'm thinking about what we had on the prize picks. It would have to be through the air. That's their weakness. I don't want to turn their strength into a weakness. I just want to attack their weakness. My guess is that that's actually what it would be trying to do. And people are now reporting. See, Ike is saying that on the football team's Instagram story, they posted Holden Gardner as a starter. I don't know, guy. Like just the scoreboard is one error. You make that error two more times.
I don't know and people are reporting. I'm starting to see Byron Vick says being reported on AU Live.
Man, this is.
With that, let's get into our pick. How do you think? What are your thoughts on this game? What do you think? Because now, well, again, if you think Holden Gardner is the better passer, to your point, if Holden Gardner is the better passer between him and Robbie Ashford, is that Harsin basically saying we are going after Arkansas secondary? That's pretty much the thinking is that, you know what? This guy gives us the best chance to attack Arkansas secondary.
That's what it sounds like to me.
However, Arkansas is good at getting pressure on quarterbacks.
So the last 2 weeks, they have had no pressures and no sacks. The last 2 games.
Ashford had a lot to do with that.
No, I mean.
Are you talking about Arkansas?
Arkansas on defense. I would look that up, though. All those advanced metrics they have throughout the season, but it could be that they're turning into a team. Again, mid-season, you kind of turn into who you are by default. And BYU isn't even an all-world team. BYU is not even good. I think they're 500 on the season now. If you couldn't pressure them, now you gave up 35 points to them, but you couldn't pressure them. No sacks. I don't. Maybe they saw something with Arkansas's lack of being able to pressure the quarterback and say, you know what, our offense can do this. Our offensive line can handle this enough for Holden Gardner to get the job done.
So who you got?
Oh man,
you got about 30 seconds. Who you got winning this?
Don't do this. I can't do it. I don't know. How are we supposed to make this pick? We had no idea Holden Gardner was going to start. Oh man. Okay, all right. I'm gonna be a homer. Why not? Arkansas wins because we could still go to Robbie.
Auburn wins.
Auburn wins. We could still go to Robbie if Auburn wins.
Except will be a homer. Arkansas wins.
Oh my bad. I mean Auburn wins. Is that
Okay,
another
you
4
got. I'm not gonna be a homer. I'm not gonna be a homer. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm going Arkansas in this game. I'm going Arkansas. I'm already in last place. Why? I mean, what the? I'm already concerned about our defense.
Now it's a 3 gummy day because now I'm even more stressed out. No, this is
Three
this is
gummies
too
with
much.
the kids. All right, guys, listen. We have been watching our pregame show brought to you by Prize Picks. We will definitely be back at the halftime. Guys, get you a green name. Become a patron of the War Report. Become a member, $5.99 a month. You'll be able to lament or celebrate at halftime the performance that we've seen. We'll never know, but $5.99 to get you there, get you a green name. You can enter the chat, troll-free environment. We will definitely see you guys. Hopefully, it'll be a good half. Hopefully, I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope B Will's right. Let's see. We'll see you guys. Where you go?
Where you go?